Welcome back, everybody, to the Financial Advisors Workshop. This is the show where we interview some of the top financial professionals in our industry, which is financial planning and wealth advisory. And that could be insurance, Wall Street, a lot of different types of advisors. Today, we have a real treat because we're interviewing someone who has a very different perspective on American capitalism, not really originally being an American. And he brings a perspective to it that a lot of financial advisors don't have. So I'm proud to introduce to everyone Alonso Rodriguez Segarra, and he's down in Florida, right, Alonso?
Yeah, I'm here in Florida with a wonderful weather right now. I even almost got a sweater today. I was wearing a sweater today. I say, oh, it's getting colder, which is
Uh,
quite different for us, right?
yeah.
I'm so happy to be here, Brian. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's a real pleasure to be with you.
Well, we're so glad to have you. And you are a certified financial planner. You're a graduate of Boston University. So you've got some credentials here in America, but you didn't start in America. Why don't we talk a little bit about your background, how you came here, and then how you led into the industry?
Yeah, I think it's a nice story because as you mentioned, it's completely different because I'm from South America, I'm from Venezuela. And when I was trying to, I mean, it's like for me, I mean, I didn't have, my parents never have a 401k or an IRA account or something like that that I can relate, and it would be so easy like, oh yeah, my dad had a 401k. I know what it is. I know how it works. Or this kind of thing. Or I never have a tax return in my hands when I was living there in Venezuela and things like that. So it's like, even when I was trying to study for my CFP, it's like, it was like the tax planning area was so, subjects were so difficult for me because it was completely different. Now that's the area that I love the most. I never thought I would say that I love taxes, but yes, I do. Yeah, it was completely different. I have been always a financial person. When I say that, it's like my bachelor degree from a university in South America is in banking and finance, and I have a degree in finance. Then I worked for like almost 20 years in an international bank, always in the wealth administration business and the stock market. But it is, of course, completely different because it's like I was mentioning, you don't have the network, you don't have the friends here in America. You just have to start from zero. You have to go from like, okay, even the way that your last name is pronounced is completely different. I mean, it's like, and that's what one of the things that when you come to this country, you see like, well, you have so many wonderful things in America. Sometimes most of the people they just take it for granted. When you come from another country, like what happens to us, like I come from Venezuela, that was a really wealthy country at one time. And then, well, all that wealth got disappeared. It got destroyed with time. So you, I mean, it's like sometimes when I hear the news, something like, okay, maybe it was like in 2 years ago, I was reading a guy that said like hyperinflation is coming. And I say, you don't know what hyperinflation looks like. You have never been in any hyperinflation country and you don't know what happened to your money. I have been there. I know what it looks like. I know how it feels because it's completely different. Yes, so it has been a different journey. It's like even though I have to talk in English, it's not my native language. It's like it has been a really, I mean, a really exciting journey because like I love finance. I love what I do. Um, I always would like to, I always dream to be doing what I'm doing today. It's like helping my clients to build wealth. I mean, it's to have a better financial well-being in their lives. So it's been quite quite a journey. But yeah, if you tell me if I will do it again, I will do it all over again. Yeah.
I'm sure you would. Well, good. So what age did you come here, and then how did that all work into Boston University?
Well, actually, my firm has like almost like 8 years. So at the beginning, I was like traveling back and forward, back and forward. And that was the other thing. It was like, okay, I need a visa to be here. It's like in the US. And it was like I was trying to look for what kind of visa I could get there. So like I knew it like to be a certified financial planner, I need to have some US studies. So I I decided to start studying in Boston University. Means like, well, to have the background, to have the knowledge and all those kind of things. But then was my main concern was what kind of visa I can have. Then I went to different immigrant lawyers, and they sometimes like most of the CPAs that when you ask them something, they never want to tell you. It's not like we financial planners that we have to say, oh, man, you have to do this and you have to do that and that kind of things. That well, the immigrant lawyers behave in the same way. Say, okay, I know all those letters that you told me about. These are all the different kind of visas that I can apply, but can you tell me which one is the best one for me? And there was never an answer. It's like, okay, no, I don't know. You choose. I said, like, if like I was talking to a client, should I do a Roth conversion or something like that? I don't know. You choose. It's like, I don't have the tools for that. Like, I need to give you the tools so you can take a decision, an informed decision. Like, so I was doing some research about it. And then I saw one visa that was called National Interest Waiver Visa. And I said, like, wow, national interest. Like, it sounds so important. It's like, I cannot apply for that one. It's like, but then I realized it's like when you take all the certified financial planners and you see from that entire population, only 0.5% of all the CFP are Hispanic. So like, wow. Well, yeah, 0.5, yes. Like almost 2,000 or 3,000 in the entire US are Hispanic. So wow. I said like, oh, there is something that is not working all right, because the Hispanic population is almost 20% of all the entire US population. And then I said that there's only 2,000 or 3,000 CFP that are Hispanics. So I talked to this lawyer and I told them like, okay, I told her, now maybe we can apply like this one for a national interest waiver, because in a way I'm like a different guy, because like maybe America can need more Hispanic certified financial planners that did them with their clients. And they say, well, do you have a master's degree or something? Yes. Have you been part of I don't know, of an association for the last 15 years? I have been in the Financial Planning Association for more than 20 years. So it's like, like I started to have all the checks. Have you been on TV shows? Have you written anything, like a lot of things there? Or have you been on a radio show? Yes, 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 yes. And then it's like, okay, we can apply for that one. And then I said like, well, let's see, it's a long shot for me. It was like trying to shoot to the moon, because I said like, national interest waiver. Like my friends were asking me, what company is asking for you? Like there is no company asking for me for this immigrant visa. It's myself, the one that I'm asking. Like I'm so important that I'm asking the US government to say like, I need this guy. So well, everything went by and I got that visa, and then I moved my family here to Florida. And then it was the main challenge there, because it's like, oh, okay, now I have the visa, I have everything, but now it's like I need to start my firm, and then I need to get some clients, because before most of my clients were only international clients. And I said like, okay, what is going to be, and everybody was talking about what is going to be your niche. It's like, it's the only way to differentiate yourself. And everybody was saying the same. You cannot compete against the big firms. And I said like, wow, what are going to be my competitive advantages in that, with that? And then I realized that being a solo financial advisor with immigrant, with no real friends, no network, it was going to be a hard work there. So I decided, I have something that is also different here. It's like, so I decided to keep a back office with all my clerical activities in South America. Because I said like, well, I have all these colleagues that have been working for me for the last almost 20 years, that I know them very well, that they are wonderful professionals, and they can help me, because I need to have something different. I'm not going to be the guy that is going to try to play all the music instruments here, because I have to go knock doors, I have to be cold calling, I have to do different things. And who's going to be, I don't know, uploading the information? I mean, it's doing all that clerical work there. So I, I, I opened an office there in South America, and right now I have other 7 colleagues. I mean, it's like a professional that works with me from there, and allows me like to have this time with you, like, because if not, I will be crazy, like running around trying to do thousands things at a time. So I said, okay, now I have the infrastructure. Maybe I can escalate this business, and maybe I can now, like, well, I have the, it's like I have the factory there. Okay. But now I need the clients. That was the main thing. And everybody was telling me, okay, Alonso, you need to find your niche. And I say, and when they give you the recipe for your niche, it's kind of easy, because I say, okay, find something that you like. Okay, I love financial planning. I mean, managing assets for my clients. I love that. Okay, I got that one. Okay. Then they say, okay, find someone that looks like the clients you already have. I say,
Right.
wow, my clients are all international clients. If you see my clients list, you can see, I don't know, Pedro, Juan, whatever, but not Brian's, Smith. I don't know. It's like, I say, I don't have that kind of clients. Like, they don't look like the clients I'm looking for in the US. And then I say, oh, well, I got it. I'm an immigrant. I speak Spanish. I know the Hispanic culture, and I will go that way. And let me just tell you a small story. It was like 16, or I don't know, I don't remember, years ago. I was in one of these financial planning conference, and there was another financial advisor that reached me, and we were talking one of these network nights and things like that. And he said, Alonso, I have to confess you something. Oh yeah, of course. Like, you know, my daughter is dating an Hispanic guy. I said, wow, great. Yeah, but I think he's like kind of a loser, you know? I say, wow, what? Why? What happened there? I said, like, well, he is like 26 years old and he's still living with his parents. I say, well, you know, for your culture, that will be a loser. In a Hispanic culture, he's just a guy that wants mommy to cook their food and to have a free shelter there, a free house there. So don't worry, he's not a loser. That's the way Hispanic behaves. So it's like, so I said to myself, okay, I know the culture. And I'm in Florida, everybody speaks Spanish here. And because I'm in the South Florida area, so I said, like, it's going to be so easy. Let me go and go after that target market. I have my niche. Okay. So I receive all this information. I mean, I have some photos. I paint my ideal client there, and I give them the names and all that kind of things, and talk to my team. This is our ideal client, and this is a client we have to be looking for. And I say, well, it's wonderful, because most of the Hispanic, when they arrive to the country, they have, well, they don't know what not even a credit score is. They don't know what an IRA account is. So I'm going to help them all with these kind of things. And there is a problem. So I said, like, I found the niche, I found a problem, and I have the solution. So I said, like, okay, this is going to be wonderful. This is going to be so easy. I just have to start showing around and telling them that. So I'm going to start producing some YouTube channel. I have my YouTube channel in Spanish, my Instagram in Spanish, and I will start to write some blogs in Spanish also, and clients will start flowing in.
Nice.
But it didn't happen like that.
Okay. So how did it happen?
Well, that was the different thing. It's like, I thought it like, okay, so I did everything right. I mean, it's like, okay, niche, necessity, problem, and a huge market there. And I was the only one there. Like, nobody else was like trying to reach those clients. But then when I was trying to reach them, I see that most of the immigrants, I mean, for the ones that they were the first generation immigrants, they don't think about retirement. They're not thinking about these like long-term goals, or not even mid or short-term goals. They're just thinking about they have to make ends meet. It's like they just have to, I mean, it's like they just have to produce now. But they're not thinking about different things. And they bring their culture, it's like, I don't know, I don't want to invest in not in the stock market. I just want to have real estate. And that's my main goal because that's what my dad did. That's what my family have been doing for the last, I don't know, so many years. I want to buy land. I want to buy a building. I say, yeah, that's good, but you should always diversify and have after I don't know, like 7 years trying to get into that market, it was almost impossible. It's like, and for this kind of culture, I mean, it's like I'm Hispanic, but it's like for this kind of culture, if you said like I'm a professional, you're gonna pay for my time, and I'm going to give you some suggestions. That for an American will be something quite easy because they will say, okay, it's like hiring a CPA or hiring a lawyer. That will be quite easy. I mean, it's like, isn't like, yeah, this is a guy, he has been studying, he has, I mean, he studied everything, he's giving me his time, I have to pay for that.
So, so Alonso, retirement really isn't a thing in Venezuela, right?
No,
People
no, no.
plan for retirement. Interesting.
Yeah, the thing is like, and it has to do a lot with the Hispanic culture. The Hispanic culture is not like foreseeing what could happen in the future. It's just like, I don't know, living now. I just want to see what is going on now.
Right.
And sometimes what happened, your retirement plan is your family.
See, that's it. So the family buffers people in Venezuela, but America has a culture of trying to have everybody independently successful.
Yeah, yeah.
And then really surrounded by family, but not necessarily dependent on them.
Yeah. And in a way, you see it in, I also was in another conference like so many years ago. It's like, I saw one of the conference was like, how you know that your finances are not going well, or you did not do your homework with your kids because they come back to your house. But for an Hispanic, they will say, "Oh, thank you. He came back. That was so good." It's like we were missing you. Like finally you came back. So like so then after well, for some years I thought like, no, maybe we have to keep trying and trying harder because well, these people really needs this. I mean, it's like, but then well, as I was mentioning, like they were not willing to pay for your hours. It's like they were just saying like, oh, thank you. Gracias, amigo. Thanks, my friend. I'm not going to pay for that. It's just, this is just a conversation between friends. I say, no, no, no. This is a conversation between a professional and somebody that is looking for some advice or needs this advice. So I'm going to charge for that. But most of the Hispanic population, like for the first generations, like they are not like, I'm seeing that need for that. So I have to pivot myself and to say like, oh, wow, I need to change my market. And I need to change my, it's like, what this has not been working because my international clients were still growing. I was doing a great job there, but my American market was still like, I don't know, it's like, it was there. It was like, it was not moving. It was not going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then I have one day, I don't know how he reached me. He was an American. He's like, "Oh, you're a certified financial planner, and I want to have some time with you, and I want to ask you some questions about my financial concerns and things like that." I was like, "Oh, of course! Like, I'm starving here. I'm looking for any client that could come here. I will be gladly to accept." So, and then I realized that I was given a lot of value, and the client, he was an American, and immediately he said, like, you know, you told me this session was free, but I want to pay for this session. I like, and I was coming from my Hispanic clients as that's like, I'm not willing to pay. And then I moved to this American client, and they said like, oh, he realized that I'm giving him value, and he is willing to pay for that value. And it's like he's like, oh. It's like, oh, this is what I need to look for. And then I said like to myself, like, Alonso, I cannot compete against the big firms. I'm not going to be like, one time I thought maybe because I have this back office in South America, I could be a small robo advisor in a way. And I can maybe, well, I lower the amount that my clients needed for us to manage their assets almost to zero. And I say, okay, this is going to be easy. I'm going to start growing with a lot of clients because they will appreciate that I'm going to be there, that it's going to be a more personalized service, and it's not going to be like the robo service. It didn't
Right.
work out either.
Oh no. Okay.
So then I said, like, okay, let's go back to basic. I was like, I love financial planning. I love the value that I know I can provide being a certified financial planner. And I know I love to be in these one-to-one conversations and to help my clients to do that. And I also know that when markets come down, is always the advisor fault. And when markets go up, is always the client, because the client, I mean, choose the right advisor, or or took the right decision there. So I said, like, okay, what else I can do? And then I found, like, okay, hourly financial planning. I said, like, oh, I like to do that. That's what I
So
wanted to do.
yeah, the hourly is different, right?
It's quite different. It's more transactional, and it has most of the things that most of the financial planners don't like, because it's like you have to be, in a way, knocking a lot of doors. I mean, making a lot of cold callings. And most of the financial planners or advisors said, like, oh, I prefer the asset under management. I will say to you, yeah, I would prefer that. Of course, if I have, I don't know, like 1 billion staying there, or more than 200, 300
Right.
millions there. I said, like, that's easier. Of course, it's like, I would love to go that way. But when you don't have that chance and you want to do what you love to do all the days and to provide value to your clients, hourly works great. And I also find a way, like, it's not my way. I was doing a lot of research, and it's like, when you start to do an hourly, you see that those clients, if you do a good work, they ask you for, like, oh, can we have another annual session or a quarterly session with you, and something like that. And in a way, it start to work like if you're having some assets under management, because you're gonna start receiving some income that is coming from those
Right.
clients that are also, of course, it's going to be harder, because in sometimes, yeah, maybe you are not getting more referrals, because I don't know, it's like, okay, you can refer your, I don't know, your sister, your friend, whatever. And from there is, well, you can get a lot of different clients. But for us, that's something that has been working, because we are getting more clients hourly. So it has been, well, I have been doing something that I really enjoy, that I really love. We are also providing the the asset administration service, but doing hourly. And then, well, it's been something great for us. But then the other question came again. Like, okay, but now everybody's talking about your niche. I say, well, but I work hourly. So, yeah, but what is your niche? You're going to work with dentists? Are you going to work with lawyers? Are you going to work with, I don't know. The other day was watching a webinar in NAFA. And I said, like, there is one financial planner that is great, and he's just working with people that love to do some tattoos and things like that. I said, like, wow. And then I was thinking all the day, what is going to be my new niche? And my advice for other financials that are hearing this is, like, when you find something that is already differentiating yourself from other financial advisors, you found a niche.
Right.
Sometimes you don't have to be like, okay, but I work hourly. I work with all the different clients. I will just love to work with this kind of clients, because I will have all my tools will be for this client. Yeah, that will be easier. Yeah.
Right.
For me, it's like sometimes I get a client that maybe he needs a 1031, or maybe I got another client that he has some insurance problem, and it makes me to always be doing research and studying and things like that. Of course, I would love to have all the clients that are only, I don't know, dentists, and I know they all behave like that. They all have these loans and these kind of things. But sometimes it's like, if your income allows it, I mean, it's like the income that your firm is producing it, great, because you find a double niche. And you found an audience that is being there.
So the hourly has been very good for you then. That's kind of your innovation. And that's really exciting. And then the bilingual market, basically the Hispanic market, Spanish market, has been also very, very good for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, but it's been working with the second generation. It's like for the one that are like, okay, they are currently working in, I mean, their parents survive and they have been getting a US education and they have been working in a US companies and things like that. They do realize the importance of these kind of things. And sometimes what they do is like they invite their parents for these meetings with me. So most of sometimes that meetings are in Spanish. Sometimes the kids they don't even speak Spanish, and the parents only speak Spanish and things like that. So I'm able to help them as a family because sometimes this second generation of Hispanics or immigrants said like, "Hey, I know my parent." Has been giving me everything, my education, well, my life, whatever, but I don't want to be his retirement plan.
Yes. So is it also because maybe the older generation wasn't raised on that? So some of those folks are back in Venezuela where they're or other countries where they didn't really have a retirement thing.
Yeah, and it happens with most of the, I mean, it's like most of the immigrants. It's like when you see like, what are you thinking about your retirement plan is going to be? Oh, my son, I pay for his education. He has to pay for my last years. I don't know, like, but the son is like, oh, I I'm not living in the same. I mean, I'm not like I'm not a baby boomer. I'm not living the same wealth that maybe others have the chance to live. And this son is saying like, I have a huge mortgage. I have to pay with this student loan. I have to do all these kind of things. I'm not going to be able to be your retirement plan.
Right, exactly. So they rely on their family. I wonder how many American families would be able to rely completely and solely on their children. Although prosperity on a relative basis is better in America, but there still is 40% of America going paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, it's a majority of people in certain countries in the Spanish world.
Yeah, and and it's a matter of culture because it's like you feel that that's what that's what you have been seeing in your family, and it's part of I don't know like an heritage. You have to continue to do that. And that's what I'm saying. No, you have to break that cycle. It's like, okay, maybe your
Mhm.
parents, we can help them to start saving for their retirement. And in a way, it's like, well, I can relate with them because like if you ask me, I don't have like those 35 years working in the US. And it's like my social security check is going to be really small against others because there's going to be a lot of zeros in those 35 years. It's like,
Yeah.
so they don't realize that the problem is huge for them. It's like that's where and in a way it's the other thing I saw is like, okay, everybody's trying to compete for the small market, and it's like everybody's trying to compete for the client that is going to bring you 1 million, 2 millions, whatever. But there is a huge market on the other side that is willing to pay for that. They're getting some good cash flow because they're getting some good incomes and they're willing to pay for your hours of work. But they're not ready to have a portfolio. If you ask them, I don't know, you have to come for with
So they're
one.
still building. They don't have a portfolio that you can
Yeah.
manage. They're
Hmm.
still building.
Yeah.
You find there's also a lot of Spanish speaking investors who do have a portfolio.
Yeah. And that's something great because it's also in a way when I get most of my clients, like as I mentioned before, I have the privilege to be born in a good family that well they allow me to have a good education and that kind of things. And when I try to bring my clients, but most of the clients that I had there, they also migrated to the US. So when I see their portfolios, it's completely different because well when you see the tax deferred accounts like almost zero and everything is in a taxable account
Mhm.
because they don't have some balance in a 401k or in an IRA account.
So there's no 401k style accounts in Venezuela.
No, no, no. It's like, well, and when you say it in a way, like the minimal wage per month in Venezuela was $3 per
$3.
month.
Right. Wow.
So it's like, okay, these families, they're, I mean, it's like the one I worked with as like, well, in the oil boom where they got well there were some very good years for producing wealth they were able to produce a lot of money there. But it's just that's all what they got. It's like that's the thing they got. And what happened there after that, as they are usually these clients were international and they immigrated to the US, but they sometimes they kept their financial advisor. When you
Right.
see their portfolios, oh, there were like a lot of really high commission products there because, well, in a way, I'm not going to judge that, but I'm just like, well, these clients, they don't have the opportunity to be, I mean, investing with different financial advisors and things like that. And well, and when you see the portfolio, I was like, oh no, why they are charging you this? It's like, why you're paying so much for
Yeah. Right. Well, there's lack of knowledge there, and that's probably how those things happen.
that?
So, well, this is really exciting. You sound like you have a great practice and a great attitude. I know when we talked earlier, we discussed about the things that bother Americans, like maybe the electricity isn't working, or maybe something's not perfect in their house, and you have a totally different view of those things, don't you?
Yeah, it's like when you see these movies about Cuba and you see all the cars on the street, you see all those old cars. It's like the same was happening in Venezuela. The automobile park was getting really old. So it's like when you go out of the street, like nothing shines. When you see here in the street, everything shines. It's
Yeah.
like, and for me, it's like even that makes me happy as a person. It's like I can say like, wow, it's like, look, I don't know, I turn on the light and there's light. And those silly things that maybe I don't know, you open the water and you're gonna take a shower, and when you open your mouth, if you do that in Venezuela, you will die because the water was so polluted, and so they don't treat it. It was
Yeah.
sometimes it was like brown. You see it in a
No,
way.
yeah. Yeah.
So when you see like you can do some silly things like that here,
Right.
you start to appreciate those things in a way, and you start to appreciate life, and you also start to appreciate a lot more this country. It's like you said, like America for me is like a blessing. It's like I say, like, wow, you have such a wonderful country. I mean, it's like there are a lot of things that could be better. Yeah, and that's why we are here for. I mean, to make them better.
Right. And you're systematically helping make better the finances and financial lives of many of the citizens who have left the Venezuela and
Yeah.
other. They don't have the great things that America has. So it's an
Yeah.
interesting practice. It's an interesting direction for you. And anyway, it's been my pleasure to have you here with us today on the Financial Advisors Workshop.
Thank you,
Um,
Ryan.
Let me ask you, we always ask our interviewees to give us a message for the financial advisor community, and you come from a very different perspective. You've given us some messages already, but if there is one overall message you'd like to share with our brethren in this industry, what would you like to say?
Yeah, I will say that I will invite everyone to see. It's not like that cliche thing that to see things outside from the box. But if you ask me, my back office is in South America. Why? It's cheaper. It's better. And better why? Because I'm not going to be able to pay for those professionals here in the US because the prices will be crazy. I mean, the cost will be crazy. And so it's like at the same time, we have many threats that are coming. I mean, it's like most of the people are not seeing it. Investment has been seen like a commodity, and you have to say in the future to your clients why you're charging that 1% and for doing something that maybe somebody else is doing for 0.25 or 0.2%. And also, it's like how artificial intelligence is going to be also a threat for someone that is going to say, oh, no, I'm going to ask, I don't know, this artificial intelligence system, what I have to do with my accounts, with my retirement. It's also, as like a profession, we have to, I mean, to keep finding ways to add value and to keep this personalized service there. Because if not, a machine will be able to do it, and it will be able to do it much better than us.
Yeah.
So it's like you always have to be, I mean, thinking where is going to be your competitive advantage,
Mhm.
and how you're going to add value in the future. That will be my main concern and message, is because it's the thing that I'm always thinking about. Yeah.
Yes. Nice.
Hmm.
Well, great.
Hmm.
Well, thank you for that message, and thank you for being with us. And we wish you all the best in your career. It looks like you have a great opportunity, and as we systematically help the world, essentially.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's what makes me so happy to be a financial planner.
Excellent. Exactly. Well, great. Well, we'll leave it there, Alonso. Thanks again for being with us. And thanks everybody for listening. And we'll be back again with, we hope, a very unique interview subject, just like Alonso. And thanks for being with us today on Financial Advisors Workshop. Over and out. And we'll see you all very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.